and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking on components of projects, scientific projects, as seen in as shows in the title. Today we'll be talking about this. Since the last video, we do a recap on what a project means entirely. So this time around, we'll be talking on the components of a project, scientific project, that precedes, that comes first before we move to chapter 1. It has chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But something has to be done before we move into a chapter 1. So first thing that we have to do is for us to do our certifications. Our certification is written, or first, before our certification, we have to start with what we call the title page. The title page is the one that involves the topic you want to do. Let me use myself as an example. My topic is identification and isolations of Propionibacterium acne and their susceptibility to chemotherapeutic treatment and antibiotic treatment. So that's the topic. Then you move by your names. You start with your topic, your project topics, your names and your ID numbers. Then at the last part of the first page, you're just going to write out, okay, these the project topics, why you done for department or your department in partial fulfillment for a degree in certain schools. So those are the title pages. If you need a format, you can just comment. I will send the format to you, maybe through email. So apart from that, we will discuss on. After that, we move on to our certification. Certification is a place that shows that your department has approved your topics and your project work. So your certification will be like, okay, I or I certified that your names together with this ID number has been approved by the department as your work of what, as your research project work. So that's how that one is being done. So after that one, So after it, we move into our certification. Our certification requires your supervisor's names and signature, your HOD's names and signature, and also your external supervisors. So after your external supervisors, that's all for your certification. Then after the certification, we have what we call declarations. But the declaration is done only to those topics that has never been done by any other undergraduates. What I mean by that is like you write a declarations when the topic you research on as a project topics has not been done by anyone. So we call it a declaration. You say that, okay, I declare that this so topics is done by me and is a work of my project, like my research that come up with this. So it's a declaration. So it's like a merit, like you are the one that firstly do this project for an undergraduate level. Note, it might be done by maybe postgraduate, but any undergraduate in your country has never been done that. So you make a declarations. Then after the declarations, you make your acknowledgements. So for the acknowledgements is just a way to give thankful and appreciate those people that helps you throughout your struggles, your project, etc. like that. Like give thanks to Almighty Allah. Anything, your acknowledgements. Then your dedications. Your dedication is like, whom do you dedicate the works to? Who do you give the merit of your work to? So those are the dedications. After your certification, you write your declaration, but not all projects has to get a declaration. You only write a declarations for those courses, for those topics that has never been done by any other undergraduates. So after your declarations, we move to your certification. I've already spoken about certification. Your certifications, we base on what you certify. Then after your certification, we move into what dedications. After your dedications, dedication is who do you dedicate your project work to? Is it Almighty Allah or your parents or anyone? Then your acknowledgements will be those that you acknowledge, those that you give gratitude to, those that you give regards to throughout your struggle in your entire university life and your project work. So after that, we move into the abstract. But abstract is very important because in our abstract is where we are going to do the summary of everything we do, like a very, very summary. It's not going to be much, and it doesn't require any citations. Abstract does not require any citations. So your abstract will be the one to tell your supervisors or any established supervisor what your work is all about. Like, it's the first thing that you're gonna see in a project work that tells you what your project is all about. But it's not the first thing you have to write to. An abstract is written after you have completed your project. But when you are composing it together, it will be the first thing that will shows when you are doing your project. I guess we understand this. Abstract is written after your dedication while this thing, before your table of contents, and sometimes it's written after the table of contents. So then your abstract is just a summary, a recap of everything you have done, you carry out in your project. But your abstract can only be written, like you can't know everything. You can't write your abstract unless you finish from your chapter 1 to chapter 5. Or in a recap, abstract is just a summary of your discussions. So we'll be talking about that in chapter 5. Then after you talk about the abstract, then the abstract is just a small recaps of everything you're gonna do. So after we talks about your abstract, then you move into your table of contents. Your table of contents deals about like everything you do, that incorporate everything you do in a title page. Like you first with your title page, your certification, declaration, then you're going to number them. Those that precede that we spoke about, that precede before the chapter 1, you number them in Roman figure, like Roman figure 1, Roman figure 2. But after that, when you move into chapter 1, you start numbering them in numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. like that. Then as we talk about, we have to know what we call list of tables and list of figures. The list of tables is like every headlines has to get every blocks, we call it a blocks. Every headlines have to get their own numbering, and we call it list of tables. So the list of table, like as if it started from chapter 1, it has to be 1.1. Like maybe in our chapter 1, we'll be talking about the background of our study, right? So we name background of our study as what? 1.1, etc. like that. That's how it goes. But we're talking about it extensively when we move into what chapter 1 in our next, when we are going to be live in our next, maybe tomorrow or next tomorrow. I'm going to let you guys know. So after that, we talk about our table. Then list of figures. The figures in a project works means a table or any graphics, like any graphics or table that shows or that represents any of a chart, maybe statistical tables, paragraphs, or it's not paragraphs, like statistical tables, pictures, or anything that visualize what you are working on. You have to number, we call them figures, and they have to be numbered in the same way as list of the tables. But that one has to be under, then the table of the list of table has to be above it. Hope you do all understands. So that's all for today. Then in our next live, we'll be talking on how we do chapter 1, chapter 2. Then we are going to do it in 2 batches. We'll talk about chapter 1 and chapter 2. Then in the next coming live, we'll talk about chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5 incomparatively. So thank you all. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and share. Wish you all best of luck.